everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailysheeple.com, and this is your news shot. Let's go to zerohedge.com. They have a piece, One American Reflects. The idiots in Charlottesville don't represent what most of us think or do. They're absolutely right. Joey Clark of Medium.com writes, a petite horde of white nationalists and their brethren are at odds with their overzealot anti-fascist opposition in Virginia. They're so at odds that Virginia governor declared a state of emergency due to the violent clashes at the Unite the Right rally in Charlotte. The images coming from the scene are so provocative and full of savagery, even Donald Trump saw it fit to send a tweet out calling for unity. Yet what most Americans need to do right now isn't to appeal to some sense of national unity against hate or to come together as one. Fine sentiments if you're into that sort of thing, but pardon me for saying, I don't need this president or any other to tell me and most of my fellow Americans that this kind of violence has no place in America, which makes me wonder what other kinds of violences do have a place in the USA. Most Americans, most people already know that this sort of stupidity and violence on the march in Charlottesville is unacceptable and a total waste of time. You know, let me stop there for a second, folks. Think about this. There are companies that pay $20 an hour, if not more, to assemble crowds for just this purpose. It's what they do. They're professional companies that hire hire crowds, if you will. If you have a political event, you need a crowd, no problem. We'll get you one. That's what they do. And they're used for this purpose. This is what George Soros and people like him do. No problem. Hey, there's a pro-white rally coming up. Oh, that's good. Well, let's get the Schmuckatelli Crowd Company to come and send 3,000 asshats down to the protest to cause a bunch of BS. And that's exactly what happened. Now, it goes on to say that the brouhaha from the political media surrounding this event is at best overblown by good intentions and at worst being purposely stoked for website hits, TV ratings, and political agendas. You know, much like North Korea, same thing. You know, North Korea is no threat to the United States. Never was, never will be. Notice how Kim Jong-un just recently, back down. Oh, I'm not going to fire missiles. I never said I was going to fire a missile at Guam. Come on. It's what they do. All right? He's a boogeyman for hire. If he plays his role well, then he can be the despot of his little country. And they'll let him do that. And that's he's playing out his purpose exactly the way that they want him to. No different than any other terrorist organization brought to you by the CIA, brought to you by MI5, brought to you by all these clandestine operations that over the years have trained and armed and brought these terrorists to bear on you. Kim Jong-un is no different. Let's not forget who gave him his first reactor, Mr. Clinton. So, we gave him that technology, and now we're crying because he wants to make nuclear weapons. Let him have him. What's he going to do? Is he going to push the button? No. It's absolute bunkum. Now it says, don't forget, while the despairing political boobs clash in Charlottesville, millions of Americans are attending pop concerts, cheerleading competitions, neighborhood barbecues, jazz festivals, movie showings, yoga classes, college classes, dog training seminars, baby showers, weddings, funerals, and pool parties. Just remember, while political nincompoopery reveals its ugly face in one tiny place on the map, millions of Americans are relaxing at home, reading books and guzzling down the champagne mixers, sharing high school memories with old friends and smoking hookah pipes, texting this sexy boy or girl they met last night or emailing a lost love they haven't seen in 10 years. Americans are shopping. Americans are putting on fundraisers in fun ways. Americans are eating junk food and health food, Chiefs puss and brown butter asparagus. Americans are cooling their toes in the white sands of beaches along the Gulf of Mexico or kayaking along the little rivers and creeks across this rich and plentiful land. Americans are driving their sports cars or riding their bikes or hiking through the plentiful forests from sea to shining sea. Point is, most Americans don't give a damn about what's happening in Charlottesville, and they especially aren't stupid enough to participate in such a festival of bunkum and blood. I'm happy they don't give a damn, and I can only wonder why people with political motives want everyone to pay attention to these petty little tyrants in Virginia who would sap Americans' freedoms in the name of blood and soil or the next great culminating clash of class and racial conflict. Maybe, just maybe, most Americans would be just fine without political conflict. Maybe most Americans already realize enjoying their freedom doesn't require being a sheep swift to follow the latest edgy shepherd who says there's something terribly wrong with the world. Call it apathy or question if you like, but if more Americans acted like most Americans who simply enjoy their free time and hard-earned dime, politics would seem very stupid and small indeed, and an utter waste of time and energy on something already very stupid and small as it stands. That said, I've wasted enough of my own time and energy. Time to go and enjoy my liberty while I still have it. And that, my friends, was Joey Clark of Medium.com. I will say this. When it comes to these events, I absolutely and totally agree. However, if we don't pay attention to what these non-representing representatives are doing in Washington, in your state capitol, at your city halls, and you let them run amok without any sort of accountability, then I can only imagine where we would be today. If it wasn't for independent media over the past 10, 15 years, where would we be today? If it wasn't for the internet, where would we be today? These are things that you have to think about because the Operation Mockingbird mainstream media would have had this country in clamped down by now, had these things not come about. So, if we're not doing a good job, then why are social media sites and Google and YouTube, why are they all of a sudden clamping down on independent media? You only get flack, my friends, when you're over the target. And we've been dropping bombs on them for the last 10 years, and we're going to continue to do so. Because we aren't going to be silent. We're going to keep fighting for our rights. I'm Joe Joseph. This was the DailySheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. Have a great day.